Good morning, everyone, and thanks for being here. And as we always do, I would love to start with what you're grateful for and proud of for this last week. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
I am proud of myself for not only putting on my calendar to make calls today, but actually doing it.
All right.
And I am grateful for the responses that I got from the few calls that I made. So I've got a couple of outside meetings set up, and yeah, so it was good. So
All right, good. And I'm looking forward to your sharing today how you network. So that takes us right into that reality. How about you, Susan? What are you proud of and grateful for?
Well, it's without going into detail, I'm grateful that I was given the gift of life today, that I woke up. And so there were some things that happened last night. And so I'm grateful to be here more than ever. And I said, I'm not done yet, so to speak. And I'm proud of the way I processed it this morning, what happened, and came out with what's the message all here. And so that's what I'm grateful for. I'm proud of, and that's why I'm glad to be here at 10 a.m. So
Yay. Yeah, we're glad to have you.
thank you.
Um, Joe's got to hop on a call. You want to do you're proud of and grateful for first?
you're muted.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Okay, he's on the phone. Um, I I'm proud of managing my mind. As every human, I kind of go down, down, down into the worry zone. So what's going to happen next? What am I doing? Am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I really living where I'm supposed to be living? What the what? And of course, oh, the other thing I'm proud of is every morning for the last 35 days, I have done writing down my dreams, 10 minutes of meditation, and writing 3 morning pages without exception. And then I let myself get up out of bed and make my coffee. And the woman I lived with said, "Does it make you feel better?" And I said, "Well, I feel proud of myself." Let me just say that. So maybe that's all. That's all I need.
So Lisa,
And
what is morning pages, if you don't mind me?
Morning Pages is a concept from 30 years ago. A book was written by a writer in Hollywood, and her idea was you can be creative. What is it called? The Artist's Way by
The art.
Julia Cameron.
Mhm.
And I don't like to write. I like to draw and doodle and, do other things, not words. So for
Okay.
me, idea is every morning you just write 3 pages of whatever stream of consciousness, get it out of your mind, like an emptying mind thing. You never go back and read it. You never show it to anyone. And so what I've done, in fact, I'm going to grab my journal and show it to you because it's hilarious.
Joe,
Oh, and it
I'm sending
looks
you out.
like I started this in June. So here's my journal. And I started writing in it, just like this. But what happens is halfway through, I'd be like, oh no, I'm going to make a list of things to do today. And I wouldn't actually write all the pages. So I started writing over the words that I already wrote on. And it is so satisfying for
Oh,
me
that is so
because,
cool.
because I
Interesting.
can't possibly go back and read it.
No.
And I find myself just really enjoying the whole idea that I'm writing over the other words, and it's sometimes I use a color, sometimes I don't. And as you can see, this page, the first time through, I didn't really write much. I just doodled on it. So it's been really fun.
You
So I'm proud of doing that practice. It's a meditative practice that I'm actually sharing with some students down in my art studio. And I am also grateful for life. Um, I'm just so glad to still be on the planet because I had a moment where I was like, "Ooh, what if I die?" Like the question, if you die tomorrow, would you be happy? I was like, I no, I'm not done. I don't think I'm done. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be happy if I was just like done.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to still be here.
We're glad you're here too.
All right, Joe, are you back with us?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No, no
Um,
problem.
yeah,
So it's your
so
you're up. What are you proud of and grateful for?
I'm grateful for uh another day above ground also, and just for being here and really having a relationship intact with my higher power that I call God. That's
Hmm.
my higher source, and just realizing that it's not, being thankful for the fact of it's not about a relationship of Hail Mary, our Father, and asking for forgiveness when necessary. It's about really building that relationship from within, where now today God's my father, my brother, my mother, my uncle, my best friend, my everything, and putting that first for me to start my day. I mean, there's so much gratitude that comes just from that alone, and the gratitude continues to just pour out from there. And today, I'm like extra proud to be a father. My son turned 21 today. It goes so fast. I was looking at pictures this morning of baby pictures and just like really like in an emotional state, but happy emotional state because of the young man that he's become, and the young and the man that he's going to become. I'm just blessed to be able to call myself his father.
Oh,
Oh,
that's beautiful,
Beautiful.
Joe. Thank you for sharing that. Happy birthday to your son.
Yeah.
Thank you,
yeah,
thank you,
yeah. Congratulations. It
thank
is
you.
so it's so great to see the young people grow up in the world, you know. I was thinking, hung out with some young people the other day and I thought, oh, they're the next generation. They're going to be taking care of me when I'm old. It's like bring them up right. You're up,
Suzanne?
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
Oh my gosh, I'm on my bike. I hope I was planning on being home in time. And I just looked at the clock and it's after 10. So good morning. Thanks for letting me join. And if it's too distracting, I can turn my camera off.
I
Um,
would love to hear what you're proud of and grateful for because you're up next.
all right. I am proud of doing the Positive Vibes Fair this weekend, doing the do and being in front of people live, and grateful for all that I got to learn from it. So much learning. That's it. And for my health. Grateful for health.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm into that.
Okay. So great. Thanks everybody for being here. And I know that Sue's going to share networking brilliant ideas with us today. And I was listening to a podcast last night as I was falling asleep. So I'm going to share with you uh, the 5 ways prosperity comes to us on this planet, according to this guy who channels, I don't know, he's getting,
Before
yeah, go ahead.
before we get started, should we read our mission statement?
Oh, yeah. Why don't you do that for us? Because I don't have it up.
Oh,
Thank you. I was thinking there was one thing we forgot.
Mhm.
That was it.
well,
Thank you,
We
Sue
believe
Sue.
in
remembers one.
people.
But we believe in people. That's right. We know that each one of us is far more powerful and contains more potential than any circumstance, situation, or condition. We believe in love and care.
Go ahead, Sue.
We bring sincere love and care to every interaction. We delight and surprise each other and our clients by anticipating wants and seeking to exceed expectations. We believe in
We believe in
integrity.
integrity. We live what we teach and we deliver what we promise.
And
We
We
believe in
believe
fun.
Go, Joe.
we
we
create
believe.
joy, laughter,
Go ahead.
and fun in all aspects of our work.
Sorry, I just
Woohoo!
I remember. Thanks. Sorry,
Uh,
Joe.
No, it's all good. We believe in growth. We grow by achieving our goals and exceeding our best.
So it
So
is.
it
And
is.
so it is. Boom.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Awesome.
Okay, so I was reminded last night the 5 ways we get prosperity on the planet. 1, money. That's not the only way. 2, trade. We used to trade things, and still someone might trade you something for something you give them. giving and receiving, which this person found different than trading. So the gift, the receiving is also a gift to the person that's giving you whatever they're giving you. Another area of prosperity, synchronicity.
Mm, I love that.
Synchronicity
Right.
is, I love to talk about that after Sue shares about how I see my roommate. She just kind of lives her life. That's how she does her networking. It's just like synchronicity all day long. And the final
Love
fifth
it.
one is inspiration and imagination.
Mm,
And this person's concept of what prosperity is the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. So the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it comes to us in so many different ways, not just in money. I thought that was really beautiful.
thanks for sharing it with us, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Repeat that one more time. The ability to do what you need to do.
When you need to do it. And then I'll repeat the 5 things as well, too, if people are taking notes. Money, trade, giving and receiving, synchronicity, and the 5th is inspiration or imagination. And the concept they were chatting about was sometimes we're going down the path and we think that that's the path. And in the human reality, we use push energy to just go, 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 go. But really, we might be inspired to go somewhere else. That's really brave thinking too. It's like maybe we're getting there. Maybe the windy road is faster than the straight road pushing. So accepting that synchronicity and accepting that gift or giving and receiving or all those ways of being prosperous will take us to our beautiful life.
Beautiful.
And one of the ways we meet people to do our work in the world is networking. And Sue is the queen of networking. Ever since I met her, she's like going to meetings and telling people what she's up to, even before she finished her training with Brave Thinking. And we're so proud of you. And I'm so happy to hear what you have to share with us today. Take it away,
Okay.
Sue.
Thanks. Let me ask you this. What experience do you guys have with networking? Zero?
Suzanne
Okay.
says 0.
One meeting.
Limited.
What did you
Limited.
say, Susan?
One meeting.
One meeting. Okay. Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I go limited, I would say. I've been to a few though.
Okay.
Actually,
like referral networking
I want
groups or
to change mine from 0 to I have been, after listening to Delisa, I realized that I've been doing synchronistic networking. So not formal business type networking.
Okay.
and how about you, Delisa?
Well, hey, Amy, we're going to ask you to check in a minute. I have done networking over the years because for 35 years I was a real estate broker. And so I would go to various things, networking with other brokers mostly to get referrals back and forth between cities. And for 1 year, I worked with another broker who drug me kicking and screaming to these networking groups. And I hated every minute of it. Like I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to talk to these strangers. I like felt like I just felt smarmy. You know, I felt like I was just like, give me your business card so we will. I haven't ever done the formal networking groups where you pay money and you go. Uh, I've done more synchronistic networking, so I'm just somewhere and somebody introduces me, and then I realize that later that's how I got a client. So networking, I guess you would call it organically. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Amy, do you want to share you're proud of and grateful for before Sue gets into her presentation?
Sure. I am grateful for time I got to spend with my mother yesterday when taking her to an appointment and doing some shopping with her. You know, I get to do that. It's not a chore. It's something my siblings don't get because I made the choice to do this. And I am proud of myself for recording an invitation to a standing firm 4-week workshop that I'm offering, which any of you can attend if you want to, because I feel it's needed, especially for all the people who are being affected by the Writers Guild strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike. And also I have some friends I know who've lost loved ones recently. So I've already from that organic thing that I did, I just this morning got an email from someone I know who said, I felt like you were talking to me. I'm going through something in my life right now. And so if you have room, I'd like to join. So it worked for at least one person.
Beautiful. Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Nice.
That was you being brave and spontaneous.
Yeah,
So this
Amazing.
is you. So you're offering this.
I am offering it.
Okay. I guess I misunderstood when you posted that, but I thought it was something through BTI.
No, I am offering this
Okay.
for the first time, taking people through the Standing Firm 4-week program.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to start it on Tuesday afternoon at 4 Eastern time.
Yeah, because I wish I knew some people who lived in Maui. It seems like that could be so beneficial for them as well. I do actually. I'm going to share it. Okay.
Okay.
That's a great idea. I love that idea.
Yeah, if any of you want to share it with people you think could use it, then please, by all means.
I've done that, but I did it the way that if I'll try and be brief so we don't get too far off track here, but they suggest that you do it as a free program with the expectation that they're going to enroll afterwards.
Something else afterwards. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm going to offer that if anybody wants a recording of it, because they can't come live, that is $27.
Perfect.
The dilemma
Nice.
I faced was offering it free and no one went beyond.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
And that's okay too. It's okay to be of service.
it is. I like the other approach better, I think, without that expectation at the end. I think it would make them feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
well as myself.
I have my expectations are is that whoever attends will see how I coach, and I will be building know, like, and trust.
Yep.
That if they've gotten what they needed and are ready to move on with or without me, that's the goal, is for them to have made some progress. And if they feel like a system of support is something they want to continue having, I'm certainly happy to do that. But there's no necessarily expectation other than if they know anyone else who could use support to pass it on.
That was the whole reason I did the life mastery. The whole core, the whole thing was for that one module that we're supposed to give away free.
Yeah.
I invested like whatever the ridiculous amount was.
But you don't have to give it away
because
free.
it was.
Yeah, you don't have to give it away free. They took it off the internet. You can't get it unless they're getting it through us now.
That's good.
That's good.
That was solved.
I was just starting talking about the networking, and I was just asking the others, what experience have you had, Amy, with networking?
I haven't done a whole lot of it, purposefully since I started coaching.
On your left, on your right.
I'm just, going with, I went to a couple of Rotary, I gave my vision workshop at 2 Rotary meetings. But I haven't been to networking events myself up until now.
Very good. So I have been networking in referral networking groups for, gosh, 12 or 13 years. And it started, well, my husband was a master networker. He through the business that we owned together. He was the sales, I was the office, but he was an incredible networker. So I kind of learned some skills from him. And then I got into a direct sales job that required me to get out and meet people. And I was always the one behind the desk. So for me, it was absolutely terrifying to stand there and do a 60-second introduction. It would literally take me days to prepare that 60 seconds. When I did my first 10-minute, I agonized over it for the longest time. And then, over the course of time, I got to where, an hour and I was done with it, as far as preparing for it. If you don't mind, I'm going to because right now I'm on speaker view and I don't like that. All I'm seeing is my face.
Do you want me to I can take you off.
No, I changed it. So I'm
okay. You don't see yourself that big.
Yeah. Anyway.
We're happy to see you that big.
So anyway, to me, as important as it is to use networking to build your business, to me, the greater value for me was my personal growth. It's hard to put into words the amount of growth that I received because of networking. And there's different kinds of networking. I'm referring to what they call referral networking. And that is where you meet, you meet with the same group of people week after week, year after year. Where you build that, which I can't remember if it was Amy or Suzanne mentioned, the know, like, or trust factor. I mean, that's what referral networking is all about. So when you go to a referral networking group, it's not about you. You're not there to, hey, this is what I do, this is what I offer, come to me. It's about getting to know your referral partners, understand what challenges that they're facing, understand their markets, understand who you have in your circle of influence that can help them. I know we can help a lot of people, but there's a lot of needs out there that can be met by offering someone else's support as well. Yeah. So it's very much a synchronistic opportunity. It is about using them as your sales force. You're not there to sell them on anything. For me, and how I presented it to them, like for my workshops and everything, it was about it will help them to understand in their daily conversations who they could refer to me just by coming to one of my workshops. And that way, when they're in their day-to-day, they'd say, oh, I'll bet Sue could, would be of help to you right now. So
I have a quick question about that, Sue.
Yeah.
So when you were inviting them to do your workshop, you said, hey, if you want to know what I do, if you want to see what I do, come to this workshop and then you'll know who you can refer to me. You sold it that way.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Because in a referral networking group, you are responsible for referring to your partners. and they track them. I mean, you report every week if you gave referrals, if you received referrals. And some networking groups are very heavy on that to the point that they aren't really good ones. It's all about the numbers. So it's important that you check out different groups. You want to find one that really resonates with you, that the members are ones that, like, I've been into ones that I've walked in and I did not feel welcome. People did not come and talk to me. It's like, here, I'm a visitor in your group. Why is no one coming to introduce themselves or anything? Ask me about my business. Other times I've walked into a group and I felt very much at home right away. So you want to pay attention to the energy of the group because they are all different. You want to pay attention to who the members are. What do they do? Would they have an audience? Would their circle of influence be ones that would be attracted to what you have to offer? And that goes, understanding who your ideal client is.
Sure.
It's all about giving. It's all about giving first. And in giving, you receive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, referral networking groups typically are category exclusive, which means there's only one for a profession within a group. I very much like groups, and more are doing this, that if you join that particular group like BNI, and it's interesting that it can be different in different areas. BNI in Knoxville, where I was from, it's category exclusive and it's chapter exclusive. I mean, you could visit another chapter as a sub if you're subbing for someone who had to take an absence, but it's not like open for you to go visit another chapter. Here in Chattanooga, BNI is totally different, and it's the same organization. A member of one chapter, and you can visit any chapter. You just can't talk about your business if they happen to have someone in that chapter who has your business. So that's something that you can pay attention to, because that opens up the audience so much to give you access to visit others. It is all about, it takes some time and work on the front end, because it is all about getting to know them, and the way that you get to know them is through outside meetings. So you schedule an opportunity to get together and get to know each other. I do not like sitting down with someone whose main agenda is to sell me on what they offer.
Yeah.
So to me, that is a big turnoff. Because I see that they aren't taking an interest in me either. So it is all about developing relationships. When you develop the relationship, you get to know them, you get to like them, and you get to trust them, not only because of that, but because through the networking group itself, you give testimonies to one another who you have worked with or who you have referred business to, and you get to hear those testimonials throughout the meeting of the impact that so-and-so has made on so-and-so. I have to say, I did get a significant number of clients from my networking team because they heard the testimonies of one that I started working with first.
One that was in that group.
Yes.
Right.
And then she would share her experience of working with me, or if she referred someone to me and what I had offered them. I mean, that's the time that you can glow by someone else putting the spotlight on you. So, like I said, it's all about, you know, in-person meetings. Zoom is wonderful now that, yeah.
I'm just wondering how big these are, like, how big are these groups? So if they're intimate groups that you meet with over and over and over, what are they, like 5 people, 30 people?
It could be anywhere from typically between 15 and 25,
Okay,
typically.
awesome. Thank you.
So it's just, you know, it forces you, first of all, to have conversations with people.
Mm.
It forces you to get uncomfortable. It forces you to just grow.
I would imagine it makes you get better at talking about what you're doing, because you
Oh,
have to talk about it
absolutely. You know,
every week. It's just, yeah.
it's the repetition and consistency. I mean, we know that those are the keys, right?
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Sue. Spill what you would say to someone you never met before at a networking meeting.
Okay. So there's a couple of things here. There's a difference between, for me, there's a difference between a conversation with someone versus your 60-second.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, your 60-second, it is presenting yourself, who you are and what you do as a business.
Right.
If I meet someone in a networking, I'm not going to give them my 60 seconds. I mean, I might tell them a little bit of it, but I'm also asking them about themselves.
Like personal things. You're getting to know them personally, who their family is, what kind of hobbies they enjoy. That, I mean,
or
just
how
like
they,
really,
you know, what do they do? How long have they been doing it? What brought them to that?
Do they love it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
So,
Yes.
I mean, we really can gain some great coaching skills by asking questions of a whole.
And listening for the
That's
other.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that story. There was a guy who was a coach many, many years ago. He's still doing his thing. Joseph Stumpf, PF. Anybody hear of him? Anyway, when I first heard him, he told a story about how he and his partner, they were going to do this workshop the next day, but the night before they were in a bar talking to these two women. And he said, let's practice this thing we're going to teach tomorrow. Ask questions about themselves and don't offer anything up about ourselves unless they ask. And they had drinks with these women. When the women left, they said, you were the most fascinating men we've ever met. Thank you. They didn't ask one question about the men. All night long, the men said, what about you? What about this? What about that? What about that? And they thought they were fascinating, but yet they knew nothing about them.
Yeah, I have a really good friend who is so good at that. Like, she's very private. And every time I walk away, I'm like, oh my God, she just heard everything that's been going on with me to the minutest detail. And I know nothing about what's happened with her in the last couple months. I think some people are naturally good at it. And I do feel like she is the most fascinating person.
Yeah, so what if you would say, so in answer to that earlier question I asked you, like what would you say to someone in a networking group? You would just ask them about themselves to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
There is, if you're into another book, which I know we have buku books, but there is a fantastic book called Networking Like a Pro. And I think they changed the cover of it over the years. This is pretty old, but this is actually the founder of BNI, as well as one of the business coaches that was in Knoxville. And then owner of one of the largest BNI franchises in the world. The three of them put this book together on Networking Like a Pro. And it really, there's really, really good information on all kinds of things in here.
Nice.
So if you really want to, just kind of looking about the, like part one, the networking mindset, you know, and talking about the law of reciprocity and farming for referrals and fishing for referrals. And then it talks about your networking strategy and, you know, where to network and what opportunities are out there. And then networking face to face, you know, and what questions to ask. And then making your network work, really making them work for you. Yeah.
How many pages is the what questions to ask? Is that something you can snap a picture of and post? I would love to know what are good questions to ask. Or actually, maybe I should just write down the name of the book.
Yeah, what's
What
the
is
name
it
of-
again?
It's
Networking Like a
called
Pro?
Networking Like a Pro.
Your background keeps interfering with the.
Yeah, I know.
I want you want to just and it's
You have to close it.
Like a pro.
Just hold it close to your
Networking Like
face.
a Pro.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got
And matter of fact, I'm going through a course now. You guys have all heard of Women's Prosperity Network.
it. Mm-hmm.
She's taking us through with one of the programs now on specific questions to ask in networking. So that's another really, really good resource. But I mean, there's all kinds of networking opportunities because there's chambers and just going to events. One of the things that I used to do when I was heavy in my organic skincare and aromatherapy is I would oftentimes go to events where others were set up. I didn't have a booth, but I went around and then I listened to conversations that were going on around me. I went to different booths that I thought would attract people that could be my audience.
Great idea.
Attract people who see what booths would attract people who might be interested in what I had to offer. And then listen to conversations that were going on around them between the person at the booth and the people they were presenting to or whatever. And I would use that to build my own knowledge, as well as having conversations sometimes with those people, you know, who were strolling through the event. To me, the benefit of referral networking is you get comfortable networking.
That's so beautiful.
Hi, Joe.
You know,
I hope
Bye.
it's helpful, Joe.
bye,
I
Joe.
gotta
See you
jump.
later.
All right, see you
Bye,
later.
Jeff.
I'm gonna reach out to you about some
Happy birthday
questions.
to
Thank
your
you.
son.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye. What I would love to do, Sue, do you feel like you've wrapped up what you should have to share with
Yeah,
us?
I think so. I mean, unless there's something I didn't hit on that somebody
What
wanted.
I'd love to do next, because I have a long list of all the places that I know that I never thought about until today that I do networking at, just kind of organically. And I would love it if everybody would just kind of take a couple we could take a couple minutes to write down all the places and groups and events that you go to that you could consider networking, that you could, be really proud of doing it when you're out there doing it.
And
So,
you had offered something early on, if we had time, about synchronicity that you wanted to circle back at. If we don't have time today, I'd love to connect with you on that. That just fascinates me.
oh yeah, we could talk about that certainly on another day.
Sure.
Let's go 3 minutes and just write down where you might meet someone who might either be a client or connect you with a client that you already do right now.
You meaning you want us to write them
Write them
down?
down in your journal or whatever you're making notes on, because I think and then we'll share. I love this timer. I'm so glad they put that on the Zoom.
They do I was going to ask you, that's on Zoom? You can get a timer like that on Zoom?
It's free.
Oh my God. See, what you're not aware of, what you're not aware of. Wow.
Is it an
I've
app?
tried. It's part of Zoom. You just go into one of the Zoom apps. Just go into Zoom and look for a timer, and that it's just puts it. So for now, it's just in the side under apps. I can have all these different things I can add in,
I
and that's
see
one
it.
of them.
Timer. Get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played around with too many of those apps, but
Under
I want the timer, definitely.
The timer's so useful for everything, even when we're working with clients.
I didn't
Okay,
know.
so thank you so much, Sue. You reminded, first of all, I started out saying I don't do networking groups. It makes me feel smarmy. But then I made a list. So Toastmasters, Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club, Chamber of Commerce and Rotary Club They didn't make my heart sing, so I didn't go many times. I do a thing called Storyworks once a month where I get to talk for 5 minutes. I teach classes in my studio. I have lunches with new friends that I meet in this town I live. Volunteering,
Mm.
church, parties. I'm in 3 different Ventura Women, which is the next town from where I live, networking groups. One's put on by a real estate broker. The other 2 are young women that are trying to have memberships as a stream of income. So in fact, my next Zoom is with one of these, and we're all going to introduce ourselves and say what we do. And then, of course, online, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, that's a way of networking. Happy clients, just word of mouth networking. And who's next? I think we all will share brilliant ideas that we don't even think about. How about you, Amy? You go next.
Well, I wrote down other theater companies and going to shows to support, and in fact, I went to a one-act presentation that was done a few weeks ago, and most of the people in the audience were other fellow actor, director friends that I know, and everyone's like, so what are you doing? That kind of thing. I'm not a member of the Chamber of Commerce, but it might be something that I'm going to consider. I put Facebook groups. I was a member of the League of Professional Theater Women and the New York Women in Film and Television, but I dropped it, pre-pandemic because, the reason I joined it was for networking, and then, it wasn't happening. So, that I stopped, but I might pick that up again. I wrote down writing groups, which I'm not a part of, but it's something, people that I might want to reach. I wrote down church, the gym, which I haven't been going too much, but I want to get back into it. My former art teacher had this luncheon and she invited a bunch of us to come, and she called herself a connector. So I could be a connector myself and do something like that, where I invite people who don't necessarily know each other and we get to know each other. And Rotary Cup, I wrote down your things actually, but those are the ones that I wrote down.
Thank you.
Family events,
Oh yeah, never underestimate the family event or the baby shower or the something like that.
Yep.
How about you, Suzanne?
Well, up until now, I don't get out much, but I'm outside doing things a lot. So I'm thinking hiking clubs, biking clubs, a place where I get my bike service, the church, volunteering, neighbors, the community club, the grocery stores that I frequent, like I'm still shopping like I have a family of 4, friends, relatives, women's groups. I put divorce attorneys. I don't know if they're divorce groups is something I want to join. Gym. Yeah, that's what I have. I really I'm noticing that getting out more would probably be really beneficial for me.
If you want to be in front of people, you need to be in front of people.
Yep. Well, part of me doesn't. Part of me just likes doing what I do and meeting people synchronistically. And, I just, there's a part of me that really believes that the right and perfect people are going to show up for me and it's going to work out. So.
But you have to do your part.
Right. Which I do by talking when I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing for free.
Yeah.
How about you, Susan?
Well, when I first started, this is what I've done just recently in the last month. So I reached out to a pastor at church. She's going to attend a vision workshop. We have several different, it's a big campus, several different groups she thinks that might work for to present my vision workshop with them for the opportunity. But, I never really thought about asking her, do you know anybody that would be beneficial that would need help like this? But I think after she attends the vision workshop, I'll go there next. Champions or friends. I had a friend, we did a Zoom together, And she introduced me, and I told them about all the wonderful things they get from the Power Vision workshop. So we did she posted on her community Facebook group. I reached out to another friend, and that hasn't come through yet, but she's got the idea, and I still have invited her to the Vision workshop. I've got a Women Empowering Women on the 18th in person. Having gone to the BNI, it's so interesting you said that, Sue. I went into the BNI and I thought, there's parts of it I like, and parts of it I think I would love to see what other chapters have expressed. So yesterday I signed up for 2 different ones in the area, so I'll go and check them out. Like you said, it's really important for feeling tone. I heard that from Lauren Royer too, so that was great. Thank you. Partners in believing, just who do they network with, like we're doing right now, what are possibilities, get ideas. I also right away with the Life Mastery Consultant marketing, they had the 30-day success plan that they put on about 2 months ago, that they added to our curriculum. And so on there, the first day it says, with your niche in mind, look at Facebook groups that are like that. So I did Women Empowering Women. And it's interesting because a lot of them really screen what you're going to say before they let it go. I've had I think 2 that they've allowed me to tag or whatever, be involved with. So that's okay. Up until now, that's what's working. I love, I keep hearing Toastmasters. So I think for me, I'm just starting the in-person networking path. I've been doing a lot online. And so I think that's a good start. I mean, I've got 3 coming up, all 3 different groups. And then I would love to do warm market list again and champions, right? Well, who do you think might benefit from this, and that kind of thing. So I plan to get into doing that this week before the end of Friday afternoon at 3. I'll be contacting some people on my list that I think have the most spark to me. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Awesome. I love it that you have given us your needle movers.
Oh,
and I really think that we might want to consider adding that to our weekly calls.
I agree.
Adding what, needle moving actions?
Yeah.
What do you agree to do by next time?
Oh, you mean what we're doing?
Two or 3 things to do. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. Yes, absolutely. I think that'd be fun. And it helps accountability, right? What we're doing.
A little accountability.
Yeah, definitely.
Never hurts.
Sue, thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, I just wanted to wrap up something that I had come across. This was a challenge. I don't know if you know of Darren Hardy. I've done a number of his trainings, and he's fabulous. He was the publisher of Success Magazine for quite some time. But he did a segment on networking. And the challenge was to pick so many people this week, 2, 3, whatever, make deposits into their accounts.
I love that.
What are they working on? What ideas, thoughts, or words of encouragement can you offer them?
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
About taking an interest in them first.
Yeah.
You contribute, and it will come back to you.
Okay, well, why don't we choose that for all of us to do by next week? Who do we contribute to? Either a thought, an idea, a helpful hand that we can give out to the world and share our gifts and talents. And with that, I see it's the top of the hour and I have to pop onto a different Zoom, my networking meeting.
All righty.
Speaking of networking.
Thanks, everybody.
Great.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Have a good week.
Have fun. Thanks.